Hi everybody, we are going to solve the same problem, the question number 16, this time under Fifo method. Question 16 was under weighted average method, and we are going to compare and contrast it to Fifo method right now. We are given the data that we need, the units, the direct material, both cost and percent completion, the conversion rate, and the dollar values of beginning and ending, direct material and conversion cost. Now, as a first step, we are going to do step by step before calculating the dollar value of completed units and dollar value of working process. The first step is to calculate the number of equivalent units, and we are going to do that one for direct material and one for direct labor. So let's do it for direct material first. We know that we are starting with 1,000, right? 1,000 completed units, 100% complete, plus 300 units that are 30% complete. So these are essentially 90 units that are 100% complete if you use the same effort basically. Now we see a minus sign here, and that is we are looking at 200 units that are 10% complete. That means under Fifo, first in, first out, we already completed the 20 units right here, so we need to subtract them. Fifo, the way Fifo works is we subtract whatever we started from equivalent units perspective, but then divide the total value for direct material that we use right here over equivalent units. Whereas on the weighted average, what we are saying was we'll take this plus this, an average, and then we are going to divide it over just this part of the equation. Fifo says, no, I'm going to calculate first in, first out, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide the current cost only, not this, but I'm going to subtract the portion that are already completed. So going back to this, we are starting with equivalent units, and that's part of the reason why we subtract this under Fifo. Now, equivalent units for conversion is pretty much the same. We are going to start with 1,000 units that are 100% complete, and then we are going to look at 300 units that are 40% complete, minus, we are going to say 200 units that are 20% complete. So I already completed quote-unquote 40 units on 100% from equivalent unit basis. So the total equivalent units under Fifo is 1,080. Again, the reason we are subtracting this is Fifo is a different method. We are taking current cost only, whereas under weighted average we are taking current cost plus this. And as you are going to see, the unit calculation method is going to be different. Now, what is the cost per equivalent unit for direct material under Fifo? What we need to do is, unlike weighted average method, we are just going to take the current cost and we are going to divide it by quote-unquote current finished goods. So the goods that we are finishing in that particular month, and that includes subtracting any type of finished goods that we have at the beginning inventory. Okay, so the main differences are weighted average take this and the value of direct material, they add it together, but then they say I'm not going to care about what we started, I'm just going to look at the completed portion. So the denominator is different as well. Now, for conversion, we are going to do pretty much the same. We are going to look at the current cost, just these guys. We are not going to look at this under Fifo. And we are going to divide these costs by equivalent units we calculated for conversion under Fifo. The total of these costs, this is direct labor, plus this side is manufacturing overhead. Direct labor plus manufacturing overhead is conversion cost. And we need to divide it by 1080. Where does 1080 come from? This is what we calculated as the equivalent units. Please note this section was the equivalent units under weighted average, but we need to subtract the completed goods of the beginning inventory so that we can calculate it under FIFO method. And it turns out the value is $43.15. So key takeaways between FIFO and weighted average. Under FIFO we are taking current cost only, and we are subtracting the percent completion. For denominator we are subtracting percent completion of beginning balance. Under weighted average we are adding these guys with this, but we are not subtracting percent completion of the beginning inventory. It's a different method. FIFO says it's going to be first in, first out, so we are calculating those first. We are making sure these guys get completed first is the idea. In order to complete them, I need to still continue 90% on this and 80% on this. So that's the basic idea behind the FIFO calculation. Now, what is the total value of cost per unit under FIFO is the question. I do know that direct material cost is $18.69 and conversion cost is $43.15. The total turns out to be $61.84. So the value of finished goods is $61,400. That's the value right here that will go here. $61,400. And then the difference between the sum of all these minus this is going to give me working process inventory. So I can calculate it either by saying I'm going to have direct material ending inventory is this and working process inventory is this, and then I can sum them up right here. Or what I can say is, let me add this plus this, the beginning balance, plus transfers in minus transfers out is going to give me the ending value. We can do it both ways.